When a mysterious bioweapon comes too close to Gotham, it will be up to the Dark Knight to stop the threat and unmask the mysterious new mastermind. What'll happen next? Well, let's hop into the pages of Detective Comics issue number 1101 and find out what happens next together, shall we? Alrighty then, so as we open up this brand new arc, we're in the past. We see a man who is almost certainly one of Gotham's many low-rent hoods on the run from the Batman. He makes his way back home only to stuff his son inside a closet for safekeeping. Understandably, the son is positively terrified, but the father says that there's nothing to worry about, that they're going to be okay, and that there's nothing to fear. Smash cut to the dad being dragged away into the night by Batman, but not just any Batman, Batman as seen through the eyes of this terrified child. Here, taking on a series of lion-esque features. Keep that in mind, because it will be important later. Also, I'm really fighting the urge to make a "oh, is this Batman's fursona" joke, but then it hits me, I guess Batman is Batman's fursona when we really stop and think about it. Now, back in the present, a party boat in Gotham Bay ends up running into some very choppy waters when they see a series of corpses floating along them. Everyone aboard is so horribly freaked out they don't even realize that a much bigger fishing vessel is coming up behind them. The party boat gets struck and a nice older woman ends up getting thrown into the icy cold water. Luckily, Oracle caught the boat's distress signal, so Batman is on the scene ready to save the day. He jumps into the water himself, while meanwhile in his internal monologue he talks about just how traumatic and scary a near drowning like this can be, how when you gasp underwater your lungs instantly fill with water that makes you sink like a stone. Batman saves the lady and of course decides to investigate the other mystery ship. What he finds aboard though ends up shocking even him, as the vessel is filled with multiple corpses, men, women, and children in different states of decomposition. This is one hell of a mystery, and Batman fully throws himself into Sherlock Holmes mode, looking for whatever clues he can find. This is an old boat hauling what were almost certainly refugees. What's strange though is that everyone died differently, and no one has any defensive wounds, like the one man in a lab coat who fell to his death but didn't actually put out his arms to try and break his fall. For whatever reason, everyone on this boat lost all their inhibitions all at once. As Batman makes his way below deck, he finds more dead bodies, but also an advanced state-of-the-art camera. Someone out there actually watched all these people kill each other, and Batman jumps to the conclusion that this must have been some sort of truly messed up experiment. You know, what I particularly like about this story is that it's already super dark and super horror tinged, but Batman is wearing his blue and gray that he's wearing in the main Matt Fraction book. Now see, you can do both with Batman. At the very back of the ship, Batman ends up finding the one and only survivor, a young boy playing a video game as if nothing in the world is wrong. Even though he's on a ship filled with dead people as well as being malnourished and covered in legions. When Batman asks him what happened, all he really says is that he's not afraid, and that whoever did this to him told him that he'd never have to be scared again. This mystery ne'er-do-well has a name. He even left a message behind, seemingly for Batman to find. He calls himself the Lion, and he says that fear will be the death of Gotham, unless he can do something about it. Batman runs a few more tests and eventually comes to the conclusion that this all must be some sort of virus or bioweapon attacking people's amygdalas, aka the part of your brain that deals with your fight or flight response. It seems that the Lion cut all of these people's flight response out and left nothing but fight. Hey, this is kind of like that one episode of Batman the Animated Series, only the Lion actually seems to have a much bigger, more dastardly plan, unlike the Scarecrow who just used his fear removal gas to like fix a sports game. I think that's how that episode went. Batman drops the living boy off with agents from the CDC while getting them up to speed on everything that's going on. He also leaves with one of the other bodies so that he can run his own tests back at the Batcave. And hey, you know what? For a threat this big, Batman decides to actually tag on in none other than Mr. Terrific, who's just been having a great year with that new Superman movie, his own new origin mini, a big recurring part in Justice League Unlimited, and now a fun guest appearance right here. Mr. Terrific checks Batman's work and agrees to his conclusion. This is some sort of dastardly bioweapon that attacks the amygdala, and it's only a matter of time before this guy ends up striking again now that he knows it works. No doubt the good guys are going to have to come up with a cure, and sooner rather than later, because wouldn't you know it, all that walking around on a ship unmasked means that as the comic comes to a close, Bruce himself has actually been infected by this virus and has to be quarantined for his own safekeeping. And so that was Detective Comics issue number 1101, everybody, and I gotta say, Tom Taylor kicks off this new arc in great fashion. I like that once again we're dealing with a brand new villain. So far, Tom Taylor has been pretty good in that department. Asima was really strong and thematic. Sangrel turned out to be a joke, but a funny joke. And now we have this newcomer, the Lion, who feels fittingly pulpy and like he would fit in really well with Batman's other very Dick Tracy-esque villains gallery. I do hope he has a little bit more going on under the hood for him than just kind of being the anti-Scarecrow, even though in and of itself that's not a bad idea. It also just kind of fits too in a fun way, you know, brave as a lion, the cowardly lion, the lion who has come to vanquish all fear in Gotham, even if it gets a bunch of people killed. Again, it's all suitably Batman from top to bottom. Overall, I would give this one a very well-deserved 8 out of 10, and I can't wait to see how this story develops from here.
Hey there everyone, it's your old pal Cape Joel again, thanking you so much for watching to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, why not check out my Amazon link down in the description. Yes, that's right, the Cape Joel channel officially has its own Amazon storefront now. You can pick up a comic or anything else for that matter, and if you did, you'd really be helping me in the channel. So with that out of the way everyone, I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.